Hey guys, welcome to Rotting Flesh Movie Reviews. I'm your host, Billy Pop. Let's get this show on the road. As you might be able to tell, the camera seems a little different, so does the audio and everything. That's because what I use to record this stuff is actually usually my telephone, and that shit fucking is fucked. Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood, made in 1988. They skipped the year I was born, the fuckers. Directed by John Carl Buechler. Or Buechler. Or something. Oh yes, my friends! I'm back after a bit of a break with the 7th installment to this fucked up franchise. This one will introduce what some may call the definitive Jason Voorhees, and that is Kane Hodder. Shut the front door. This movie was also supposed to be the original Freddy vs. Jason. Unfortunately, New Line Cinema owned Freddy Krueger and couldn't come to an agreement with Paramount. That sucks because an 80s Freddy vs. Jason would have been the tits. Also, many death scenes were cut due to the MPAA. Fuckers! So, the film opens sometime after Tommy sent Jason to the bottom of Crystal Lake in Part 6. We have a man abusing his wife and his young daughter, whom we will come to know as Tina. Tina runs out of the cabin into a dock on the lake. She floats out onto the lake in a canoe and her dad begs her to come back to shore. Tina then uses her crazy mind powers to make the dock collapse on him. Yeah, some people call this Jason vs. Carrie. What the hell is growing arm hair? This is weirder than Jason Goes to Hell. I mean, heck. Anyways, we snap forward quite a bit, and Tina is much older now. She is on her way to Crystal Lake to see a shrink with her mother, and it looks like there's another party next door. Joyce is gonna fuck him, because they have a
great asshole.
Tina's shrink, Dr. Cruz, is a huge dick and messes with Tina so she can use her fancy mind powers to move things. Clearly, Tina doesn't care for this much. Throughout the movie, he manipulates her in various ways to exploit her telekinetic gift. This is upsetting because Tina seems to very much regret murdering her father with mind magic. She then, while trying to wake her father from the dead, accidentally resurrects Jason. And oh boy, does he look gross. Just look at that fucking spinal cord, eh? Tina wakes up and tells that quack Dr. Cruz that she saw someone come out of the lake, and it wasn't her father. He would probably think that it would be pretty weird if it was her father. He, of course, doesn't buy it. One of the young ruffians from next door invites Tina to his cousin Michael's birthday party. Michael never shows up, and Tina throughout the movie has strange visions of him getting murdered by somebody. Dr. Cruz, of course, does not want her to go to the party because he's an asshole. But she goes anyway. At the party, she miraculously meets one of my favorite characters in the franchise. This guy!
What do you think of Lagwagon? 30,000 years into the future, the entire galaxy is populated by highly evolved protozoa. Good, huh? King Tut rises from the tomb.
And once again, we get some pretty cool death scenes, even if they are cut to shit. Tina ends up smitten with Nick, and they end up hanging out a day after the party. This kind of bitchy, sexy blonde chick pisses her off, and she uses her brain bonanza to bust this little bitch's pearls. But not without crying and running away! It's like you're basically Carrie. Don't break her pearls. Summon a dead serial killer back to life and kill her with an axe. Oh wait, you did! The prick doctor goes out into the woods and finds a dead body. Does he tell anyone about it? No! Tina's mother finds out what Dr. Cruz has been up to and tells him that he may no longer treat her daughter. In response, Dr. Cruz threatens to commit Tina because he's a cunt! Tina steals the car and runs away, only to have the premonition that Jason is killing her mother, and then she crashes. Her mother and Dr. Cruz go out looking for her. Look at this side boob! That was a good side boob! Tina meets up with Nick and they find the dead body of Nick's cousin Mike. They run back to Tina's cabin and discover that it was Jason who Tina resurrected. Tina's power then becomes extremely powerful for some reason. I guess the stress just got to her. Now she's not only responsible for her father's death, but now for the deaths of all the kids next door, her crazy mad scientist evil doctor, and her mom. Way to go, Tina. Heaven, I know it's not your birthday for 3 more days. But Jason can't believe it. Happy birthday. You're a really great guy. In the final showdown, Tina fights him with a cranium titanium. These are starting to not make any sense. Tina really pisses him off too. She lights him on fire with her Stevie Nicks cocaine butthole magic. But that don't matter because Jason comes back. But not for long. Tina's dad rises from the grave without a scratch on him and saves the day. He was probably down there for like 15 years. I think there'd be some wear and tear. Jason's hockey mask got split in half. I want to point this out now. The gash through the mask in the third movie was in the mask the whole time since. I like the continuity, but the mask is split in two now. You know, I haven't watched this movie in years, and I have to say it holds up pretty good. The direction was fantastic. The lighting was awesome. I love the shots of the woods with Jason. The lighting made the mood of the movie dark, and that was kind of missing from the sixth entry. The look was actually more bleak than I remembered. I really liked it. Also, there was a lot more suspense in this movie than there were in a lot of the other ones. It was like when Jason was stalking his prey, the director really used the camera to his advantage. The writing was not bad either for a slasher movie. There were twists and things as obvious as they sometimes were. The acting was pretty good too. The stoner was a stoner, the bitch was a bitch, the nerd was a nerd. And Kane Hodder as Jason? I mean, my god, look at how tough looking this motherfucker is. He's my second favorite Jason. He really brought an intensity to the role that I think was really important. And it was a different intense than the third movie, too. The characters, for the most part, were memorable and likable. I even kind of liked the bitchy girl. I don't know what that says about me. I think she was just pretty hot. I guess that chick played a good snob. There were a few throwaway characters, but not many in my opinion. The dialogue wasn't campy. I really love that. Campy can be okay, but I prefer Friday movies to be darker stories. Out of all of them, this seemed to be like a campfire story, sort of. And I think that really brought some of the charm to the movie. It felt surreal in a way, because it couldn't be based in reality. At least not in my mind. The effects were great in this. I can only imagine how awesome this would have been if they would have left it uncut. I think it's such a shame, because the kills made longer would have been almost works of art. You're all a bunch of sociopaths. And the look of Jason in this one was by far my favorite. You can tell they really worked hard on it, and they knew it was awesome when they made it. The opening music was kind of terrible in this one. It was just this guy trying to make like a ch-ch-ch sound with a drum or something, and it was just not effective. It was just over and over, very repetitive. So far, it's my least favorite opening theme. But it kind of makes up for it with this like creepy funeral/circus song that sounds pretty cool throughout the movie. So I kind of like that. Oh my Gordon Lightfoot, was that a good movie? I can recommend Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood, because it's not only a different entry in the franchise, it's also got many of the same elements we all watch these spooky Jason movies for. I will give this movie a 7 out of 10. It's fun, dark, and has some tits in it. I lost a subscriber today. Why? That Midget Production.